Good morning. Welcome back to Conversations at the Corner. Welcome to episode 59. Today is Wednesday, March the 4th. Pastor Nathan, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good to see it. You see that you're growing your beard back.
I am, yeah.
And so by the end of this month, when this series is over, you'll have a full beard like you once had.
I will. And are you going to shave yours off so we have the full reversal?
I have thought about it, so I'm not sure yet. I'm not
Okay.
sure, but very very possibly. We'll see. Hey, speaking of an exciting time of the year here in March, we are pushing toward Easter. Easter is on April 5th, and then before that we have Friend Day on March 22nd. Those things are coming up, so I just want to remind our people of that. And then don't forget, the KMBC Choir is going to be here on March the 15th for both of our services.
Yeah.
So we're super excited about that, and we still need some people to house some of those students. So if you guys are willing to do that, that would be great. We are so glad to have you with us. This is a historic week for us as we just kicked off 2 services and had a great start to that on Sunday. Looking forward to more of that through the spring. But Pastor Nathan, this is also an exciting day, not only because we just started 2 services here at church last Sunday, but also because today we get to unveil the bracket, the March bracket, the March Madness bracket of classic cartoons. And so what we're going to do for our listeners who are following along, listening today we're just going to set the bracket. We're going to go over the matchups. We're going to talk a little bit about them, and then join us next week and we'll start narrowing it down, and then we'll take this through the end of the month. But Pastor Nathan, before we jump into the bracket, you have anything you want to say about it?
No. Let's just jump in.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
Okay. We talked about all kinds of different things that we could do. We talked about a bracket with like cereal, which would be cool. Maybe we'll do that next year. But we landed on classic cartoons. I picked 8. You picked 8. We had a couple crossovers, so we had to pick a couple of other ones. Mm-hmm. But then we seeded them 1 through 8, and then we put the bracket together. So let's just go through the matchup. So let's start. Guys, if you have your bracket and you want to look at it, of course, I guess you don't because you turned them back into the
turn them in.
office.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll just go down the left side. So Pastor Nathan, why don't you talk about the left side of the bracket, and I'll take the right side.
Okay, so the first matchup we have on the left side is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the Littles.
Okay.
So the only thing I really know to say about this is that I talked to a number of people who said, I had never heard of the Littles. I don't know what that is. And then they went back and they maybe watched it a little bit. And a couple of them said, once I watched a little clip of it, then I kind of remembered. But I think the Littles I don't think a lot of people know that one other than you.
That was my pick. That was one of the ones I picked. Yeah. And it wasn't my favorite childhood cartoon growing up, but I really did like it. It was good.
And I was in that group when you told me that name. I don't know what that is.
Did you look it up?
I didn't.
Okay.
But maybe I will at some point here. I didn't vote for it. I can tell you that because I've never heard of it.
Ninja Turtles was one of your picks. So it would make sense that you would go with your own pick. Yeah.
Right. And I think when we set the bracket, because we tried to sit down together and say, okay, what do we think is the number 1 seed and 2 seed? And we tried to figure that out. And we put the Littles as basically a number 8 seed. We knew that not a lot of people would probably vote for it.
That was a nostalgic pick for me.
Right. And I knew Ninja Turtles, for me, I don't want to give anything away. Ninja Turtles is really one of my top for my childhood.
Yep.
So that's the first one. And I think we can probably all predict that Ninja Turtles will destroy the Littles.
Yeah, I think we probably can.
Okay, but the next one here is Scooby-Doo versus Batman the Animated Series. Yeah. So that one, Scooby-Doo is obviously a real old school kind of classic. Yep, and I grew up with that. I saw that quite a bit too. Batman the Animated Series came out, if you don't know it, some people might not know it, came out in the 90s. So I was in middle school when that was kind of out, and I watched that one quite a bit.
Okay.
And that was kind of interesting because the visual look of it is very dark. Like it's not a lot of bright colors or anything like that. So that one will be an interesting matchup to see how it goes.
Yeah, I think so.
But all right, next up we have the Flintstones versus Gummy Bears. Okay, and this is another instance where you suggested gummy bears,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
I did,
looked
yeah.
at you like, what are we talking about?
My second favorite cartoon.
Right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so Flintstones is a classic.
It is, yes.
Hanna-Barbera.
Yep.
Really funny, really fun. I grew up with that.
Yep.
I have no recollection of the gummy bears.
Okay. It's got one of the best theme songs in cartoon history.
Oh, okay.
Not the best,
One of.
but one of the best. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to go back and listen to that.
I think I liked Looney Tunes and stuff from Hanna-Barbera a lot, but I think I was more like Team Disney. Like you look at like the ones that I picked, a lot of them were like the Disney after school.
Okay.
3 to 4, 3 to 4, 3 to 5.
And I do think that that's probably going to be a determining factor for a lot of people when they vote. It's not an issue of comparison. It's really when did you grow up?
Yeah, when did you watch?
Because, if you, on the next bracket, Pokemon is on here, right? Well, I kind of got out of cartoons before that came out.
Yep.
So for me to vote for it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yep.
And so I think that's going to be a real big factor
Yeah.
for a lot of people. All right, the last matchup here on the left side is Alvin and the Chipmunks versus Tom and Jerry. So
Those are some great matchups.
yeah,
Man.
that's a tough matchup.
Yeah, that is tough.
I feel like I grew up a little bit more with Alvin and the Chipmunks, but I did watch both of them. So those are both pretty solid classics.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll take the right side. We'll start at the top, and we have the number 1 seed DuckTales versus the number 8 seed Pokemon. I will tell you, I've never watched 1 second of Pokemon. No idea what it is.
So I play the little phone game Pokemon Go. I like that. I've never seen any of the shows.
Okay.
Or anything like that. So because I play that, I know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But I watched DuckTales when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So as a cartoon, DuckTales is probably more where I'm at.
Yeah. And DuckTales has the greatest cartoon theme song of all time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So DuckTales versus Pokemon, Looney Tunes versus He-Man.
Yeah.
Funny story, I was not allowed to watch He-Man.
Really?
My mom would not let me watch it.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I think their whole thing was like, you have the power. And she was very much like, no, you don't have the power. Jesus has the power. So yeah, I was not allowed to watch He-Man.
That's rough.
That's right. Yeah. All right.
I did. That was
Okay.
a show that I grew up with a lot in the 80s. I had the action figures. I had the full like Castle Grayskull like play set and stuff like that. I was really into it. My mom even like a couple of years ago, she bought the DVD of all the He-Man shows.
Yeah.
And I'm not a very nostalgic person.
Yeah.
So it was something that was like, well, we'll show it to my kids.
Yeah.
Like they'll get to see it. For me, it does not hit.
Yeah.
There is a Masters of the Universe He-Man movie coming out. I think it's this summer.
You gonna see it?
I don't know,
Is it a cartoon movie or like a live?
No, it's a live action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, cool. All right.
I don't know if I will.
All right, Looney Tunes and He-Man, and then this next one is really like a kind of a battle of true classics: the Jetsons and Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
I watched both. I think I grew up more with Inspector Gadget.
Okay.
But I've definitely seen both.
For my money, Inspector Gadget might have the best theme song.
Okay.
I really like that theme song.
Yeah.
But yep.
And then the last one on that side is Chippendale Rescue Rangers against Transformers.
Transformers, yeah.
So that will round out the right side of the bracket.
Yep, that will.
Pastor Nathan, before we move on, because we've spent some time talking about this and we had to get into it, but we do want to move on. But very quickly, let me ask you 2 questions. First, I want a dark horse who you think, hey, I think this kind of maybe little known could go farther than people think. And then I want your prediction on who you think is going to win the bracket. So give me the dark horse first.
Okay. So I'll tip my hand a little bit, everybody, because we have the results. So we kind of know. But when we were making this bracket, as far as a dark horse goes, I think I would have thought, in my mind, I thought Pokemon was a good dark horse.
Okay.
I don't know if I thought it would go all the way, but that show and the video game and everything associated with it is just so massively popular. And I wasn't really thinking a lot about the fact that there might be a lot of people in our congregation who just don't have familiarity with it because of age. But that would have been my dark horse pick. As far as who I thought would win, or who I think would, I don't know how to.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who did I think?
You said you want me to tell you who you said?
Yeah. What did I say?
You said Looney Tunes.
I said Looney Tunes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And Looney Tunes, really, I think I picked that because it's just such an all-purpose. Pretty much probably everybody has grown up with it at least a little bit.
Yep.
Everybody knows it. It's loved. It's all these different characters.
Yeah.
So it's not like just one set of characters. It's a whole bunch of different things you can draw from.
Yeah.
So
It's Bugs Bunny and friends.
right. And all sorts of
yeah.
other people. Yeah.
So I will tell you, this is a little unfair because I asked you the question before I really looked at the bracket. So I can't answer who's the dark horse because I don't think I think that whoever is going to win, it's going to be one of the powerhouse. So I don't see truly a dark horse coming. So I will tell you, my prediction is like yours. My prediction is that Looney Tunes will come out on top.
Okay.
Little teaser here: Looney Tunes was not my pick, but that is who I think the congregation will pick. So join us next week. We'll start getting into the battles and see who starts whittling down, getting down to the Final Four in the championship. So we'll do that throughout the rest of the month. Pastor Nathan, let's shift focus here. This is a series that we've talked about for some time that we're really excited about, or at least I'm really excited about it. I hope you are.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
And this series that we're getting ready to jump into is going to span not only March but April.
Yep.
So this talk will go for the next 2 months. And so we've talked for some time about wanting to do something on culture and Christianity. And so there are a lot of things that take place within our culture that are considered normal, that truly within a life of a Christian, they probably should not be normal. And so we want to just talk about these different topics and look at them in the light of Scripture and in the light of culture. So this is what culture does. This is what culture says is okay. But more importantly, what does God's word say? Not what do you say, not what do I say, but what does God say? What does His Word say about these things? So that's where we're gonna be for the next 2 months. Excited about it. So Pastor Nathan, why don't you take us into what we're gonna talk about today?
Yeah. So, and let me even preface this by saying that when we go through all these different lists of cultural practices, some of them will be things that we definitely say Christians just absolutely do not do whatever it is.
Black and white. We know that. Yep.
Other ones will be a little bit more debatable, or there at least has been some debate about whether Christians should participate in whatever it is. So I want everybody to know that sometimes, like when we get to those debatable ones, we may say something that you don't like.
Yeah. And we may not agree with each other.
And we may not agree with each other, and that's okay. So let's intro the first one. The first one is gambling. Okay. So gambling is probably a pretty cool one to talk about right now, I think, because it's coming a little bit more into the forefront of society. I feel like there's a lot more, or there are a lot more casinos than when I was growing up anyway. Roanoke might be getting one, or there's a push to get one.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly where we're at on that right now, but there's a push for it, and there's debate.
Well, and they already have Rosie's over in Vinton, which I know there's some kind of gambling there. I know where it is, but I've never been inside. I don't know much about it, but I know there's gambling there.
Yep. So, and maybe more importantly, some of our audience might be attuned to this, and some of it may not be. But sports betting has become a lot more commonplace.
March Madness is coming. I mean, we're the NCAA tournament.
Right.
Yep.
So this is something that with the rise of like online sports betting sites, it's given access to people that they might not have had before. You know, like I didn't grow up. So where I grew up in Port Huron, when I was growing up, we didn't have a casino. There was one across the river in Canada, but we didn't have one in town. So if I wanted to bet on a sports outcome, I would have had to like get some friends together.
Yeah.
Or I would have had to find a bookie, which I don't think I would have done. But now I can just get online, and there's dozens of websites that I can place bets on.
Yep.
So it's becoming a lot more commonplace.
Yep. And I'll tell you, I was in a gas station the other day, and there were like gambling machines against the wall that people were sitting over there and playing at. So do you remember when the Motor City Casino opened up in Detroit?
I do not.
Okay.
Yeah,
and I lived a little closer to Detroit than you did, so I would have heard about that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I know we heard about that on the nightly news and stuff like that. I just don't really have a strong recollection.
Yeah. I know it was like late 90s, right around 2000, something like that it was happening. So
So let's kind of just get some basics out of not out of the way, but if we were to talk about gambling, one of the first things that we probably want to admit up front is that there isn't any biblical data on this necessarily.
Yeah.
Ancient Near Eastern world, I have no idea if they had any equivalent. I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
Gambling.
Casting lots. I mean, that would be a similar thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure like in ancient Rome, they had betting on the horse chariot races or like who would win the gladiator fight or whatever.
Yeah.
They had to. I think it's kind of human nature. It just seems like so obvious that someone would be like, yeah, let's place a bet on this.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they had casinos per se,
Right,
and they
right.
certainly didn't have online gambling. So the Bible just doesn't address it at all. And my guess is probably that it wasn't very commonplace.
Yeah.
And so it's no need to really address it.
It's more of a culture thing of our day than then.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure,
Right.
But that's probably my guess. So when we talk about this, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to rely on principles.
Okay.
Not on, like, there's no silver bullet, I pulled out this passage.
Romans 12,
Right.
verse 7.
And it tells me don't gamble. So let me ask you, what would be your, like, if somebody come to you pastorally and said, Pastor Matt, I'm thinking about going to the casino. I want to have a night of fun. Should I do this or should I not do this?
Yeah.
I know that's really general. Well, how do you think you might respond?
Well, I would just automatically say no. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think anything good comes from gambling. Michael Jordan has been a huge gambler, betting tens of thousands of dollars on like a golf hole.
Yeah.
So there are people that it has become very addictive, very damaging. So I don't see that really any good has come out of it or could come out of it.
Okay.
There's always the question of, Pastor Matt, if I win the lottery, should I pay my tithe?
Yeah.
And what I tell people is, I do not think you should play the lottery. Don't do that. However, if you win, yes, please pay your tithe. So I would probably really encourage people not to. I would probably find out why they want to do that.
Okay.
And then, maybe talk to them about other ways to find entertainment or have fun.
have a nice
Where
night out.
if they are dead set on, no, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I would probably say, well, I wish you wouldn't, but if you're going to do it, why don't you take X amount of dollars with you? Do not take a credit card or a debit card or any additional cash. Just take this set
And limit it.
and be done.
Yeah.
But I would not even like that.
Well, I think you bring up something interesting. So when you talk about Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan has an insane
An
amount
endless
of
worth
money.
of
Yeah,
money.
like his level of the money that he has.
Billions.
Billions. So if he wants to gamble a few $1,000s on a golf hole, that's like gambling pennies for him.
Yeah.
For me, if I tried to gamble any amount of money on a golf hole, my wife Olivia would have me for lunch.
And she probably should.
Right. Like you can't do that.
First of all, you don't golf, so you would not be good at it.
So I would probably
Yes.
lose. But I think that's a key is most people, Michael Jordan or maybe some people who are in this like rare stratosphere where they could actually support a gambling addiction and it wouldn't matter. Because I think Jordan probably does have one.
I think so. Or he did back in the
Or
day.
at least he did, yeah. Most people don't have the money, though, to support a real gambling addiction. And so I think that's one of those keys where when we think about how we can advise people, we know that it can turn into an addiction pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And that most of us don't have the money to sustain that addiction. Now, you might say to me, Nathan, you run the risk of being addicted to like reading books or watching movies. Okay, fine. That's true.
Yep.
But financially, I can sustain that.
Yeah.
Now, maybe mentally, I'm cracking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
Your
the
family's
addiction-
suffering.
Yeah, my
because they're-
family's suffering or whatever. But financially, though, it doesn't really cost that much for me to get books at the library or to go to the movies, even with my pass. But gambling really does run that very big risk. And I think that would be my first line of caution for people.
And I think an addiction to gambling, like an addiction to anything, the person who is addicted to whatever it is, gambling, alcohol, pizza, whatever, they're in denial that they have a problem.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a problem. I can stop.
Right.
Okay. Well, then stop. And an addiction, it sucks you in, and it's hard to get out of. So,
and I think one of the things with gambling is that you could maybe, I think hypothetically, there's a case to be made that if a person was very, very disciplined and they said, I have X amount of money, let's say it's $40, I don't know, and I'm going to spend this amount of money this month on gambling. That probably won't get you very far.
Yeah.
$40 would. But if you're the type of person who could gamble that $40 and not chase your losses and just be really disciplined about it and say, that's my way of having fun for the month, hypothetically, I could be okay with that. But the problem is that it's very rare for people, especially with gambling, to have that kind of discipline. Most of the time what you're doing is you're chasing losses.
Right. Yeah. One more.
If I just do this, then I'll get it all back and it'll be great, And so I think that's kind of the addictive element of it. Like you're chasing that dopamine hit of, oh, I won. Oh, but I didn't win, so I got to try again.
Yeah.
It's almost like the same. I would almost liken it to scrolling Facebook. You might not have expected this analogy, but when you scroll Facebook, it's really gambling. Oh, that's what Richard says. That's what he's doing right now.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not.
No.
He's looking at Amazon. Never.
Yeah. He's scrolling, but it's
he's
not
scrolling,
Facebook.
but not Facebook. Okay, but when you scroll Facebook, you're playing basically a glorified slot machine. I'm scrolling and I want to get something that will really interest me.
Yeah.
Most of it's trash.
Yep.
Right. Yep. And then every once in a while you get something, oh, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? And so you just pull that lever over and over again, hoping to get that hit. But I think with gambling, it's the same thing. You're going to pull that lever over and over again. You might get a hit.
Yep.
Probably not.
There was some people that lived across the street from us when I was probably like upper elementary.
Okay.
And they had a slot machine in their house. Like I don't know if it was an old school slot machine or what, but it was. And then like they had like quarters there or whatever, and they would let us like put one in and pull the thing and all that.
Okay.
I assume my parents knew about that. I don't know.
Have you repented?
Well, I wasn't actually gambling. It was just to me, it was like a game, like an arcade game. But, and I guess like, that's a funny story.
Right.
But if I had really like gotten into that, chasing the cherries or bananas or whatever that lined up there, later in life, that really could have been a kind of a dangerous thing for me.
Yeah.
So, the Bible doesn't talk specifically about gambling, but it does talk about managing our money.
Right. And being wise and all of that. Yeah. Now, my closest experience with gambling actually comes, Olivia and I went out west and we went through Las Vegas. I don't remember if we gambled or not. I don't recall it. I don't know that I recall it. The more vivid memory that I have is when I was in New York, me and my friends went to a Buffalo Sabres game, and there's a casino nearby the arena, and they gave a $10 card.
Oh, okay.
So you could go over and spend $10, and we were just kind of like, well, we have the card. I don't know, might as well. And we did the slot machines or whatever, and we didn't get anything, or I didn't anyway. I think one of my friends got like $6 or something. Yeah. But that's my experience with it, and I found it really. It was not satisfying to me as an activity. Yeah. But
I was on a cruise ship one time, and they had this big casino on the cruise ship.
Oh, okay.
And I remember like walking by it and looking in, but I didn't dare even to step foot in it. If I had it to do over, I'd probably say, I just want to walk through this thing and look at it. Yeah. But my parents were on this cruise, and a bunch of people from the East Michigan district were on this cruise. And I thought, sure as the world, I'll walk through here. And I just graduated from Indiana Wesleyan as a ministry major.
There you go. Yeah.
Sure as the world, I'll walk out of here after just looking at what this thing looks like. And those will be my parents or some people from our district. And I was like, it's just not worth the risk.
And I will say, I've been to Las Vegas a couple of times. I don't really enjoy it, but walking through some of the casinos, it really is kind of depressing, actually.
Yeah,
like you would see people who are old retirees on like an oxygen tank sitting there at a slot machine and just going through it all day, and you're thinking, man, what a life. Like, I don't know. That really made me kind of sad.
Yeah.
I do understand, I will say, I understand the appeal of sports betting a little bit more than I do a casino. Because with sports betting, you're kind of, I enjoy watching sports. Right. You enjoy watching sports. So the outcome of the game is undecided. You don't know. And that adds a little something to it.
So I would say for me, it would be the exact opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like if I was
too stressful.
Yeah. Like if I was like, hey, it's basketball season. I'm gonna put money on Cade Cunningham for the Pistons scoring 30 points. I would be almost more concerned about, is Cade going to hit 30 than is my team going to win?
Right.
And I wouldn't want that pressure. But you can even bet now on like the coin flip.
Yeah. Which is
at
crazy.
the Super Bowl and some stuff like that. Very quickly, I know we're getting close on time here, but do you want me to tell you my very first experience with gambling? You want me to tell you that story?
I'm ready. Yeah, hit me with it.
So I was in third grade.
Okay.
And
starting young.
A friend of mine in school was a North Carolina basketball fan. Okay. And they were playing like Eastern Michigan. And at that point, I mean, I just heard Michigan and I'm like, well, they're going to whip Carolina. So he and I bet $1.
Is this in the 90s? No,
this would have been like 92, 93.
Oh, yeah. You got smoked.
I did. Yeah. Man. So we bet like $1. And so, of course, Carolina whipped Eastern. Yeah. I don't even know what the score was. Yeah. And now, ironically enough, I am a Carolina basketball fan because that friend, like I became a Carolina. Anyway, so I think I was getting picked up and my friend Chris, I was getting in the car and he said something like, don't forget your $1 tomorrow. And I think my mom heard him and asked me about it. So I told her and man, the wrath of the warden fell on me because I don't think I knew like that I was gambling. I was just... I made this like wager with my friend, but I guess I didn't think that bet and gamble was the same thing.
Yeah.
But it was $1, and I endured the wrath of the warden for that.
And see, that's the difference. Like wagering. So I'll give you an example. Me and a couple of friends, we have a thing where we do bets. Like they're not money bets.
Yeah.
So we will wager something, and then whoever loses. Sometimes it's even just as simple as like, let's play rock, paper, scissors, and whoever loses has to do whatever it is. Well, one time we were out at Glacier National Park, and I lost, and so I had to go become a junior ranger. That was what I had to do. So I had to go and fill the booklet out and like go to the front desk and say, "Hey, I filled this booklet." It's like a kid's book with coloring and all this stuff. I had to fill it out, and the ranger there had to like make me do the little oath and everything. I
would almost rather be like, "Here's your $20," than having to do that.
Yeah. So that type of stuff is. I think there's an element of wagering that can be fun.
Yeah.
If it's not. Money, like throwing money away is not great, but that to me, I will always do that with those two friends whenever we hang out.
So, like last year in the office, we did an NCAA bracket. In the office, and what we said was, whoever wins the bracket gets to pick where we do a staff lunch. Now, that wasn't a form of gambling, but we were kind of competing against each other, and the winner got something. Let me ask you this, and then we'll do kind of final thoughts. NCAA bracket pools. Is that a form of gambling? It's $10 a sheet or $5 a sheet. Winner gets the pot.
This is where it's tough. To me, I can't get really addicted to that. It's like a once a year thing that comes around.
Yep.
And if we have a big office and it's like, okay, that's fun. And we're all going to pay attention to it. And it's like, I can't get addicted to it. So I don't really mind it. I think it's just like a pay to have fun together with everybody.
Like an entry fee. And
you don't care if you lose. Like nobody's chasing their losses on an NCAA bracket.
Yeah.
So,
I think probably in some circles you can though. Like there's probably high betting in that.
oh, okay, yeah.
But but like if you were to do like something like with family or office or something. By the way, people listening, we're not going to do here at Emmanuel. We're not doing an office pool, so please don't think that. I was just a question.
I think I don't know. I don't know how you make that distinction because the distinction is pretty fine.
Yeah.
But that is the type of thing. Like, if you did an NFL playoff bracket, I mean, that's fun. If somebody said, if a group of people here at the church says we're going to do $5, I would probably not do it because I'm a pastor and I just don't want to get myself in trouble. But there's another part of me that would be like, that's fine, $5, that's fun. Yeah. And whatever. If I win $30 out of it, cool. If I don't, then I had fun with the guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Any last minute or any last thoughts on this topic before we move on? Any advice, anything like that?
No, the main thing that I would say is when thinking about gambling, where you're really going to want to, the lens I would use is the lens of wisdom. Like, is this wise for me to do? Is this a good use of my money? And I think the answer, probably 95 or 98, whatever % of the time with gambling is no. It's really probably not. Yeah. Now, if you are someone who is truly disciplined, maybe okay. But I still probably just wouldn't recommend it. Like I don't think it's a great way to spend your money. I don't think it's a great way to be entertained. So I would just say no, probably not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would say no too. I think it's too easy to be addicted, and I think most people don't make enough money to where that would not put their family or their livelihood in question, which is unwise and not okay. And the Bible even talks about not taking care of your family.
Right. And even if you did make let's make so much money like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Would it be better for Michael Jordan to spend all that money on gambling, or would it be better for him to donate all that money to some charity?
Emmanuel Wesleyan Church.
Emmanuel Wesleyan Church,
yeah, for sure.
Right. It would be better for him to do that.
Yep. Okay, well, thanks for joining us today on Conversations at the Corner, and join us next week. Oh, and by the way, next week, on March the 11th, we're going to have a special guest join us, an in-studio guest, which we've never had before. We've had we've had at least one call in, I think, when Pastor Mo called in. But we will have a live in-studio guest next week for Conversations at the Corner and sharing a testimony about next week's topic. So don't miss it. Next week on March the 11th, episode 60, we'll have a special guest. Let me pray for you as we close out. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day. God, thank you for the conversation with Pastor Nathan. Lord, I pray that you would be with our listeners. God, that you would help them in every aspect of life. And Lord, if there is somebody that is struggling with gambling or unsure of what to do, God, I pray that they would seek help, most of all from you, from your spirit, from your wisdom and guidance, but then from other Christians that they trust. And God, I pray that you would help us to be wise with our money, good stewards of our money as you've called us to do. God, be with our listeners today. Be with them, help them, and help them to be an ambassador for you. In Jesus' name, amen. Same time, same channel next week. Keep rolling, Emmanuel.